It's exactly 7 p.m. here in the nation's capital. Good evening and welcome to the 7 p.m. news on Info Television. To begin this newscast, first, our top stories. Less than 48 hours to the October 12 presidential election in Cameroon, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganje, cautions citizens to be responsible and avoid any actions that can get them into problem with the forces of law and order. Away from that, militants and supporters of the CPDM party in Gumu at the Kinsam village in the Mefuanakono division of the Central Region of Cameroon demonstrated a sense of support to the presidential candidate Paul Biya on October 8, 2025. Those were main points. Now the news in further details. Welcome back. As you heard in one of our top stories, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganje, says no room will be given to those who announce an official result of the presidential election. He was speaking this Friday, 10 of October 2025, at the conference hall of the Ministry of Territorial Administration during a press conference. Details in this report. Speaking at the conference hall of the Ministry of Territorial Administration this Friday, 10 of October 2025, the minister highlights the government's previous administrative tolerance. However, he sharply condemns a candidate for the upcoming presidential election he accuses of defending terrorism and boasting of connections to a dangerous figure. This sets a stern tone for the briefing.
We condemn reckless remarks from a candidate who thinks he can do whatever he likes, to an extent of publicly defending terrorism and boasting about his connections with a dangerous terrorist who has committed untold atrocities in the northwest and southwest regions.
A significant portion of his address targets independent vote counting initiatives. Minister Paul Atanganje declares platforms created by candidate, a trade union, and a young lawyer illegally. He states that only the Constitutional Council has the authority to proclaim election results.
I would like to call on all candidates, especially those conspiring with people of dubious character, with plans to activate these illegal platforms, to abandon this criminal initiative which cannot prevail. It should be restated that only the Constitutional Council has the authority to announce the results of the presidential election after resolving any election-related disputes.
The warning becomes more specific as the minister cites intelligence that a particular candidate plans to declare themselves the winner of the presidential election. He remarks that this candidate's house does not have armored doors and promises that Minat will take action against such diabolical ideas.
That any unilateral publication of election results is high treason. Today, in my capacity as Minat, I repeat that those who attempt to announce results of the presidential election or any self-proclaimed victory in violation of the laws of the Republic would have crossed the red line and should be ready to face retaliatory measures commensurate to their crime.
While acknowledging that post-election legal disputes are normal, the minister insists all grievances must go through official channels. He advises contenders to show humility and political maturity, warning that any excesses will lead to destruction.
No misconduct from whosoever shall be tolerated. The title of a presidential candidate does not confer any immunity on whosoever. I want to say it again clearly, that the title of a presidential election candidate does not confer any immunity on whosoever.
Minister Paul Atanganje concludes with a final stark warning. He asserts that any attempt to defy the state authority will be dealt with squarely, signaling a zero-tolerance approach to post-election challenges. Motorcycle riders and other trade unionists of the transport sector have expressed unwavering support for President Paul Biya. This was during a ceremony at the Yaoundé City Council this Thursday, presided over by the Senior Divisional Officer for Fundi. Details in this report. Several road transport unions formally declared their support for President Paul Biya's re-election campaign during the ceremony in Yaoundé this Thursday. Alongside the G20 political group, the event, presided over by the Senior Divisional Officer for Fundi, Emmanuel Marian Jingdeng, takes place just few days before the presidential election. The unions publicly affirmed their collective endorsement of the CPDM candidate. Representatives state that motorcycle taxi drivers in particular benefit from more recognized and respectable status in the society under the current administration.
When you look into the files of the 12 candidates, the other 11 candidates, there is no candidate among the other 11 candidates that will match President Biya. Paul Biya has experience. And let me tell you, if you want to employ anybody to occupy a post of responsibility, you are looking for what? You are looking for somebody who will master the work you want to give. President Biya has a mastery of development projects in Cameroon. He mastered peace and development. He mastered the security issues. And he is working towards carrying Cameroon into an emerging economy.
This show of political solidarity earns praise from senior government officials.
We are here to mobilize motorbike riders to support our candidate, the candidate of peace, Mr. Excellencies Mr. Paul Biya, President of the Republic. We realize that it is one of the best that we can choose because of the fact that without peace we cannot do anything in our country. We need peace, and he is one of the best candidates we can enables us to have peace in our country, because without peace we cannot move, we cannot drive our bike. That's why we think that, and we would like to call all the bike riders in our country to choose Mr. Paul Biya.
While pledging their electoral support, the unions simultaneously advocate for the reforms within their sector. They call for improved working conditions and specifically request a reduction in the cost of fines levied at municipal vehicles impounds. The ceremony ends with a tour along some streets in the city of Yaoundé. Away from that, the Febe football stadium and Bankolo in the Yaoundé 2 municipality saw the presence of a crowd dressed in fabrics with the effigies of the CPDM and Paul Biya, who came in to pledge their support for the CPDM presidential candidate. The ceremony was presided over by the president of the CPDM, a special campaign committee, Professor Laurent Serge Etuningwa, as you tell us, Mimi Tiobo.
A whole symbol, a football stadium, a match to win, a crowd dressed in fabric with the effigies of the CPDM and Paul Biya, who attends the closing meeting held at the Febe Stadium and Bankolo in the Yaoundé 2 municipality. The inhabitants of Mokolo, Madagascar, Komkana, Green City, amongst others, give themselves the word and response to the call of the CPDM. The arrival of the president of the CPDM Special Campaign Committee of Fundi, Professor Laurent Serge Etuningwa, created the excitement amongst the inhabitants. He took the opportunity to convey a message of peace few hours before the vote.
I found militants all over the place, who are confident and sure that they will cast their vote for President Paul Biya. In the past, they have already done it, and they want to improve. They say 100% vote. In the last election, they came out with 96% vote for President Biya, and now they decide to improve. They will add 4 points and reach 100% vote for President Paul Biya.
Professor Laurent Serge Etuningwa congratulates and thanks the activists for the awareness-raising work carried out throughout the campaign period. The work continues, according to him, with the goal of reaching 100% in the election.
I'm going back satisfied. We'll go there and tell the hierarchy that everything is set to Yaoundé 2. Everything is very set to Febe village in which we are now.
As supervisor, the campaign president of Yaoundé 2 parliamentarian Paul Eric Njonge evaluates the campaign at the end of the 14th meeting.
Monsieur le Président de la Commission spéciale.
Mr. President of the Special Commission, I know that you are waiting a lot from us. Here at Febe, we have lucky to have this brilliant militant, Jules Ferdinand. We are so happy. The president of the CPDM Yaoundé 2, Yannick Martial Aïssi Elundu, mentioned the works of candidate Paul Biya and the projects underway to improve the living condition of the population. The 12th October, we will be faced with our history, the history of our country, the history of our life, and the history of our subdivision. We will have the choice within 12 candidates to make our choice, a good choice. Songs and dances relax the atmosphere. Traditional leaders, also called Zomloa, close the ceremony, carrying out traditional rites of blessings on Professor Laurent Serge Etuningwa. Once the rites are completed, the president of the Fundi CPDM Special Campaign Commission performed dance steps with traditional chiefs. After thanking the head of state, the people of Febe says that it will be 100% of CPDM on October 12 and confirm their constituency.
And still in politics, the CPDM head of the Fundi 3 campaign zone, Philippe Mbarngambua, has chaired a campaign meeting at the Fulan in Yaoundé this October 9, 2025. The meeting aimed at mobilizing militants to vote for Paul Biya in the upcoming presidential election, as you tell us, Mildred Fonge.
The CPDM Communal Campaign Commission from Fundi 3 is promising a 100% vote for candidate Paul Biya. This was during a campaign meeting reaching sound and color which held at the Fulan neighborhood in Yaoundé. In this meeting, chaired by the head of the campaign zone from Fundi 3, Philippe Mbarngambua, on October 9, it was mentioned that this is the last of the party's campaign meetings and proximity campaign follows till Saturday. We are staying awake because it's just the meeting that ends here, but campaign continues. We are looking out for the interest of our president, and we will continue to work and pass across the message. The president of the CPDM Fundi 3 section, Lucas Owona, while speaking to militants, declared that he believes frankness towards voting their champion would be inevitable. Just like in any other area, we are observing a good number of groupings, field works, which entailed mobilizations to support Paul Biya. Dear comrades, the voting of Sunday will not be an ordinary one. It is going to be one which will see our frankness towards our champion, Paul Biya, in order to complete his great works of constructing the Cameroonian nation being strong and prosperous. Yaoundé 3 being organized and fully behind their candidate is a sign to the party's leaders of where their interest lies.
Yaoundé
3 is well seated and very much behind President Paul Biya, because in Yaoundé 3 there are people who reason and they know where their interest lies. And their interest is close to Paul Biya. So that is why we will massively vote on October 12. The meeting also saw the presence of the Yaoundé City Mayor Luc Messia Tangana, active CPDM militants like Christophe Fouendi, subsection and section presidents, and others. Endless devotion towards their national president was preached in order to get a win in the election.
As you heard in one of our top stories, militants and supporters of the CPDM party in Goumou in the Mefouanakono division of the Central Region demonstrated a sense of support to the presidential candidate Paul Biya on 8 October 2025. The ceremony was presided over by Gaston Elundu Esomba, president of the campaign committee, in the presence of other dignitaries, as you tell us, Mimi Tiobo.
Not even the rain or darkness could stop the population of Gomo at Kinsam this 8 October 2025, where the CPDM militants and supporters of this community came out in numbers to pledge their support to the presidential candidate Paul Biya for the presidential elections come October 12, 2025. Mr. Minister, we appreciate your presence here. All what you say as it concerns CPDM, people will listen. Everywhere you talk about CPDM, people will listen actively and follow. They will be behind you on this coming election. The ceremony presided over by Gaston Elundu Esomba, president of the Divisional Campaign Commission in the Mefo and Akono, accompanied by his wife in the presence of Saturin Efamesi Grigua, president of the Municipal Campaign Commission of CPDM in Gomo, Dieudonné Mvengbala, elite of the Kinsam locality, Chief Balga Amogo Michel of Etengang, Jean-Baptiste Atemenge Amvona, vice president of the Campaign Commission, Flombala Etinge, elite of the locality, Patriarch Minlo Balga of Kinsam community, Tekle Ezembe, president of the Etenga subsection CPDM women, the CPDM youth representative Fridolin Balambala, Info TV delegations, traditional rulers, and other dignitaries. During this ceremony, Dieudonné Mvengbala recounts on the life of Kinsam history while calling on the population of this locality to make the right choice come October 12 presidential elections. I am surprised to see the multitude of people here. It is true we waited for long and nobody left. Everyone is here, showing how strong and determined we are concerning the election. I want to appreciate you people for coming in numbers, and I know we would make the right choice on Sunday. Minister Gaston Elundu Esomba, president of the Divisional Campaign Commission of Mefo and Akono, appreciated the population while giving directive to be followed on October 12. We say victory without any problem. Here we want to be 100%, and we say 100% to a double take. First of all, it is participation. All those who register need to come and vote. There are 300 and something. There are 302. 302 register. 302 need to come and vote. There are others who don't live here. The advice is that they should travel latest 12 midday to spend the night here on Sunday. Those who are here in the village, they should know that they have the obligations to get up on Sunday morning to go and vote as fast as possible. The massive turnout of the population of the Mefo and Akono division at the Kinsam village demonstrates that this locality is strongly behind Paul Biya, pledging 100% vote.
Lake 5 CBD militants gather in Loa for their final campaign rally ahead of the October 12 presidential election. The event featured the presentation of local campaign commission members and calls for strong voter turnout in support of President Paul Biya. As you tell us, Patience Shintum.
Momentum builds in Loa, in the Obala subdivision, as the Leke S subsection of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement comes alive, with militants turning out in large numbers for their last campaign rally ahead of the October 12 presidential election. Highlight of the event is the presentation of local campaign commission members by subsection president Françoise Teme. Militants are briefed on how to correctly identify the CPDM ballot paper and ensure accuracy when casting their votes on election day. Support for President Paul Biya takes center stage as speakers call on the population to vote massively for the CPDM candidate, highlighting his achievements in infrastructure, education, peacekeeping, and democracy.
You couldn't have it better than it is at the moment. I think you have the best part of the whole campaign in the village. So let's just say we're all voting for Paul Biya. He's the best. I don't know how many candidates are against him, but I don't know if any one of them can stand and achieve what he has achieved so far. In a village, there's so much he has achieved around here, and we are still expecting a bit more.
Local elites intensify mobilization efforts with political figures such as Professor Landringo Nontimi, who spares no effort in rallying for a decisive CPDM victory in Loa. A festive close crowns the rally. The event wraps up with the distribution of campaign gadgets and the communal feast as militants celebrate and express confidence in a landslide win at the polls.
A few days to the October polls, CBD militants in the Afalum subdivision says yes to the national president Paul Biya. This commitment is a clear indication of a 100% victory come October 12, 2025, as you tell us, Phillips Enchi.
In an atmosphere of jubilation and conviviality, the population and militants of the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement CPDM in the Afanlum subdivision, Mefon-Afamba Division Center region says yes to the party's national president Paul Biya a few days to the October polls. The head of the permanent delegation and president of the Divisional Campaign Commission, Luke Magloambaga Tanganam, on October 9, 2025, accompanied by a strong CPDM delegation, made a triumphant entry into the municipality, received by party sympathizers with chants of joy and victory. Addressing the militants, the president of the Divisional Campaign Commission urges them to be vigilant against fake promises during this crucial moment and rather focus on the target come October 12. The militants turned out massively, declaring a 100% victory for the party's national president Paul Biya, with infrastructural projects visible in the subdivision, such as roads, a special fund set aside to encourage youth in agriculture, administrative buildings, and a project of creating a government high school. The militants are confident to return such generosity to the national president Paul Biya with a 100% victory.
Paul Biya is the one. Paul Biya is the best. For us, there is no competition. There's no possible competition. So, short of ourselves, proud of our leader, and we'll go to that election and we will win. Clearly, we will win.
With such a massive mobilization, victory is obvious.
The best is Paul Biya. I insist on the fact that the best is Paul Biya. the best for Cameroon, for the future of the young people, for the future of the women, for the future of our security, our economy and our development.
A subdivision now witnessing rapid economic growth, with cocoa selling at 5,000 francs per kilogram, the Municipal Campaign Commission president is confident about the party's victory.
You
all know Afanlum has always been voting for the CPDM party, and nothing can ever change that. Though there are some militants with diverse opinions, but we are confident of 100% victory and nothing less, not 80% or 90%, but 100% victory. Elites and the various wings of the party reassured the national president, Paul Biya, for a landslide victory come October 12, 2025.
Monsieur le ministre, nous pouvons affirmer que nous sommes un privilégié.
We want to confess before you today that, Mr. Minister, we are privileged in this community with such a blessing. We are standing behind greatness and hope for victory. Us as citizens of this country, as elites, as indigenes in this locality, all of us are obliged to exercise our civic duty and vote for Paul Biya, our national president. We all have the responsibility to sensitize our brothers and sisters to vote massively come October 12, 2025 in favor of our champion, our national president, Paul Biya. All is set in the Afanlum subdivision as party officials are expecting to exercise their civic duty while maintaining peace, security, living together, development, religious tolerance, greatness, and hope at the helm of state affairs come October 12, 2025.
During the rally meeting at the Ese Grandstand, CPDM militants reaffirmed their unwavering support to the national president Paul Biya with a 100% victory comes October 12. With infrastructural development in the Ese subdivision, maintaining Paul Biya in power remains the best choice. Once again, Phillips Enchi.
In a campaign rally that brought together militants of the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement (CPDM) in the Ese subdivision, Mefu-Anafamba Division Center region, on October 9, 2025, CPDM militants in the Mefu-Anafamba North reaffirmed their support to the national president Paul Biya as the October 12 presidential elections fast approaches with 100% victory and engagement witnessed by the head of the permanent delegation and president of the Divisional Campaign Commission, Luke Magloambaga Tangana. Ese, a subdivision currently proud of tar roads, potable drinking water, universities, hospitals, employment opportunities, peace and tranquility, thanks to President Paul Biya, says yes to a 100% victory come October 12 presidential election.
Excellence, Monsieur le Ministre,
Your Excellency, Mr. Minister, on behalf of the youths of Ese subdivision, I want to reaffirm with a firm conviction that the youths are going to vote our champion, our national president Paul Biya, with 100% victory. In the quest for transparent, fair, clean and clear election come October 12, 2025 for our national president Paul Biya, the women wing of the CPDM in the Mefu-Anafamba North, through my voice, reaffirms their readiness to deliver 100% victory. Paul Biya is a preferred candidate in the Mefu and Afamba North here in SA. Paul Biya is that president who has been protecting our national integrity. He has been working tirelessly to preserve peace, tranquility and harmony in Cameroon. When someone possesses these qualities, who can convince us not to vote for him? Nobody. Paul Biya is our national president and candidate, and we shall all vote for him come October 12th. With 7,000 eligible voters in the subdivision, the Vice President of the Municipal Campaign Commission, coupled with the 160 meeting sessions educating militants on their civic obligations, the subdivision is sure of 100% victory. The good roads and the buildings you all see today in SA, connecting this town to Swa and neighboring towns, are all thanks to President Paul Biya. The center town now has a good route. With such quality, Mr. Minister, I want to speak on behalf of the people of SA. The people of SA says yes to Paul Biya and have chosen President Paul Biya because we want development in SA. The CPDM national president is undoubtedly the choice of the people.
L'œuvre du président Paul Biya continue et nous sommes heureux qu'il a accepté et nous l'avons demandé qu'il continue son travail.
The works of President Paul Biya continues. We are very happy that he accepted our call to stand as a presidential candidate. His works speaks for itself. You all can see at the economic level, new opportunities now comes with road, schools. Today we are training the women and children professionally in various universities so that they can gain financial independence and easily integrate themselves into the society. There are lots of opportunities, and God has a reason for keeping Paul Biya strong. We should vote for him, and we are going to vote for him. The president of the Divisional Campaign Commission urges the militants and youth not to be carried away by illusion brought about by smooth talkers, but focus on providing 100% victory for the national president Paul Biya come October 12. You all know how long it took Paul Biya to realize the project you all are enjoying today. Do you all believe it can be done within a blink of an eye? No, it's not possible. The road heading to Awai, Ese and Swa, do you think it was done just in a day? It took a long time. This is because it is not easy. People who always seize the occasion of a campaign to lie to you, the youths, and make you guys believe things are easy. They are all liars. They are all manipulators. They are selling illusions. Do not listen to them because they won't lead you anywhere. Choosing greatness and hope remains the lone alternative for development. President Paul Biya is the person that brings development, that brings peace, that brings economic prosperity. Vote for President Paul Biya and you will never regret it. The choice is yours. Vote for prosperity. Vote for long life. Vote for President Paul Biya come October 12, 2025. A campaign rally that witnesses the presence of traditional rulers permits the custodians of tradition to reaffirm their support to President Paul Biya. All that begins well ends well, as the militants are expected to proceed with a door-to-door campaign with an objective to maintain greatness and hope in power come October 12, 2025.
It is with that report that we draw the curtains of our newscast this evening. Thanks very much for watching. We urge you to stay tuned to other programs on Info Television. Meet Claude and Tar at exactly 8 p.m. for the news in the French language, and Stefan Barga at exactly 9 p.m. with the program A vous la parole. Have a splendid weekend. God bless Cameroun.